This is the book Beat Depression by David Hinds from 2001. This chapter is chapter 16, Debt, Despondency, and Death. He who has never hoped can never despair. George Bernard Shaw, 1856 to 1950, Caesar and Cleopatra. The bottom line: this is when true friends show their worth. Is it possible in one short chapter to do justice to the complexities of debt, despondency, and the death of a loved one, explaining in detail how each may impact on depression? No, this is not my intention. At this stage in the book, I wish only to acknowledge the importance and the significance of these distressing events in respect of your own depressive illness, if indeed one or more of these factors are relevant to you. Debt. Debt and money worries are a major cause of stress and depression, and insufficient funds have wrecked many relationships and lives. Although having sufficient money to meet all demands doesn't totally eliminate stress, not having enough money to remain solvent is definitely stress-inducing and liable to lead to depression. Financial consultants recommend that we should save at least 10% of our earnings. Apparently, we will enjoy a clean bill of financial health for life if we spend what we have left over after saving, rather than saving what's left over after spending. It is never too late to get into the habit of saving, and even those on low incomes can usually make economies if really determined. If you are already in debt, seek advice and guidance without delay from your lender or an independent agency. In the United Kingdom, the nationwide network of Citizens Advice Bureau can be most helpful. Here are their suggestions to help avoiding some of the classic causes of financial problems. Except for essentials, try to avoid shopping if you feel lonely, bored, stressed, or depressed. Avoid shopping simply for recreation purposes. Find something potentially less expensive to do. Shop only with a shopping list in hand and stick to a pre-arranged spending budget. Give yourself a cooling off period before making any non-essential purchases. Whenever you are tempted to buy anything that could be regarded as a luxury, work out in advance just how many hours you are going to have to work in order to be able to afford this item. Utilizing this system, you may decide that you don't want to spend the money after all. Despondency. Life for the clinically depressed, despondent person can seem like a life sentence of regret. Regret for the lost opportunities and the mistakes of the past. Regret for the momentum and enthusiasm that have evaporated from present-day life. And premature regret for a future perceived by the individual to be futile and already lost. Given this wretched degree of despondency, it is hardly surprising that the depressed person's thoughts are permeated by feelings of self-doubt, lack of self-esteem, and even self-loathing. In these circumstances, a visit to the doctor, who will most likely prescribe a course of one of the very latest generation of highly effective antidepressants, is essential before any major or lasting benefits can be derived from this book. Death. The death of a loved one can be the most awful thing to come to terms with. Grieving is a natural way to release emotional feelings, and it is our traditional way of making peace with whoever has been taken away from us. The process takes time and cannot be rushed. Many people choose a period of solitude as their way of coming to terms with what has happened. For others, equally devastated by their loss, the comfort of others is what is needed. Family and friends can help to keep depression at bay by spending time with a person who has been bereaved. It is not so much words of comfort that are needed at times like this, more the willingness to be with them during the time of their pain and distress. A sympathetic arm around their shoulders will express care and support when words are not enough. Grief is a process of adaptation and passes through a number of recognizable stages. These stages include alarm, shock, denial, anger, guilt, sometimes but not always, acceptance, and adjustment. People in mourning who become depressed are often having difficulty transcending the last two stages, acceptance and adjustment. They should be encouraged to refer to the sources of help and support section at the back of this book. Touch can be instrumental in opening up the pathways to emotion and helping to release the anguish of grief. When we are trying to hold back painful emotions, we clench our muscles, locking in memories and thoughts that we have difficulty in dealing with. The professional touch of a masseur or masseuse in a relaxed and private environment can have the effect of allowing blocked emotions to flow more freely. The change of seasons can provide a change of focus and a turning point in your life. Even in the depths of winter, we can see snowdrops rising from beneath the snow. If you have access to a small piece of soil and a few seeds, why not plant a miniature garden of remembrance? Many people find that growing new life while they're in mourning soaks up some of the pain associated with bereavement.